That scene you drove past today, the one that you've seen 1,000 times, it could be your next incredible painting. Today, I'll show you how artists throughout history have used ordinary scenes to make incredible art, and how you can see like an artist. Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Kim. I'm a 52-year-old Gen Xer, and I'm using my marketing and art history background to launch an art business. I created this YouTube channel as a place for people in their 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond to find inspiration and to take a chance on their art. Whether you're a beginner or have been painting for years, all are welcome here. So I thought I'd take advantage of this beautiful morning to grab a coffee and we can just talk art for a little bit. Oh, I have my dog here, dog Freyja. In my last video, I shared my journey of how I returned to art and how exhibiting my paintings at the age of 47 really changed my perspective. I'll put a card up above if you want to check out that story and see what led me to creating this YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a concept that has really shaped my artistic practice, which is finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. And what does it mean? And how can you integrate it into your own artistic practice? So this painting, The Road to Willowbrook, was inspired by a drive that my family and I took. We were going to an event, and there was something about the light at that particular time that really captured my attention. So I took a picture as we're driving. I didn't realize it at the time, but this marked a turning point in how I see the world around me. What might seem like just another snowy road became a study in light, form, and leading lines. The inspiration for this painting came from a beautiful photograph taken by journalist Omaira Issa, whose eye for capturing everyday moments aligns perfectly with our theme today. In this piece, power lines, something that we usually try to edit out of a photo, became the very foundation for the composition. A single bird silhouetted against the evening sky turns these utilitarian structures into musical staff lines, creating poetry from the prosaic. I don't know if you can hear my dog, but she's really going to town on this bone right at my feet here. And now in my upcoming work, Small Town Vespers, I'm showing how evening light can sanctify the simplest scenes, with elements like a dirt road, a parked truck, modest houses. The same principle of finding beauty in everyday scenes guides my artistic vision. This tradition of finding beauty in everyday scenes has a rich history. Let's look at how some master artists transformed ordinary scenes into some extraordinary art and what we can learn from their techniques. Van Gogh found magic in a simple cafe scene at night with his painting Café Terrace at Night, painted in 1888. He transformed a simple street corner into a masterpiece of light and color. Notice how he used the contrast between warm-toned artificial light and cool-toned shadows to create drama. The everyday elements, the tables, the chairs, the cobblestones, become pieces in a larger orchestration of warm and cool tones and a masterful command of color. While he used artificial lighting for his scene, I focused on natural light in solitary note on evening lines. Yet both paintings share something crucial. We both found drama in everyday structures. In both paintings, they capture that magical moment when light transforms ordinary structures into something poetic. In Van Gogh's case, it's the warm glow of cafe lights, and in mine, it's the soft evening light that painting the clouds and silhouetting the bird against the evening sky. Edward Hopper mastered the art of finding profound beauty in quiet small-town scenes. He showed us how morning light on a simple storefront can tell stories about American life. That morning light can turn a row of ordinary storefronts into a meditation on solitude and possibility. His work reminds us that drama is not found just in grand vistas. Look at his use of long shadows, the geometric patterns of windows, and the way that early sunlight warms the brick facades. Like my upcoming painting, Small Town Vespers, Hopper found dignity in quiet small town moments. He taught us that emptiness itself can be compelling, that absence can tell as powerful a story as presence. Monet showed us something revolutionary in his series paintings, that the same ordinary subject viewed at different times and conditions could reveal endless variations of beauty. His Haystack series transformed simple agricultural storage into studies of light, atmosphere, and perception. He painted these common farm elements in morning fog, bright sun, evening, and snow. Each painting revealed how dramatically both light and weather could transform the most mundane subject into something magnificent. Okay, dog needed to go outside, I needed a refill. It all works out well. These masters share a crucial lesson, that artistic vision isn't about finding rare or spectacular scenes. It's about developing the ability to see the spectacular in the everyday. Their techniques studying light, embracing ordinary subjects, and finding geometry in ordinary scenes are tools that we can all use to develop our artistic eye. So let's talk about one of the most powerful tools that we have as artists, light. Whether natural or artificial, it's often light that first draws our eye to an ordinary scene and reveals its extraordinary potential. In this painting, it was the winter sunlight streaming across the snow and highway that first caught my attention. The low angle of the winter sun created strong shadows and highlighted the texture of the snowbanks. So in this scene, three key elements transform the ordinary. The low winter sun, creating long shadows across the snow, the light catching the texture of the snowbanks, and the way the sunlight defines the curve of the road. Here, the natural light of sunset transforms this everyday street scene. Those clouds catching the evening light create a dramatic backdrop for the simplest elements, those power lines and a bird perched on them. Notice how the warm oranges in the sky contrast with the cool greens and grays of the landscape below. The key elements are the warm pinky orange clouds against the blue-gray sky, silhouetted shapes becoming graphic elements, the light catching different planes of foliage, and the way the backlight defines the power lines. And in this scene that I'm preparing to paint, again, it's the evening light that transforms the ordinary. Those luminous clouds above a dirt road tell a quiet story of a small town at the end of day. The way the light catches the clouds while the street falls into shadow creates natural drama. So these lighting principles work in any scene. The direction of light creates form. The time of day affects color temperature. Shadows define structure. And contrast draws the eye. Now let me share some practical tips for developing your eye for light and composition in everyday scenes. These exercises are perfect for everyone, regardless of where you are in your artistic journey or your level of experience. Choose one location near your home. It could be a street corner, a building, or even your backyard. Photograph it at different times of the day. Notice how morning light, midday, or evening completely change the scene. This was Monet's approach with his series paintings. And it's a wonderful way to see how light transforms the ordinary. Make a simple viewfinder by cutting a rectangle in a piece of cardboard. Use it to frame ordinary scenes in your daily life. This helps train your eye to see compositions everywhere. And if you don't have this with you, use your fingers. Try this during your daily routine, while you're waiting for coffee, sitting in traffic, or looking out your kitchen window. Start noticing small details in your everyday life, reflections in a puddle, shadows on a building. the pattern of telephone wires against the sky. These elements can become the focus of powerful compositions. As we saw in Solitary Note on Evening Lines, even the most mundane object can become the star of your composition. As we've explored today, extraordinary art often comes from the most ordinary moments. From my winter highway scene to evening power lines, and soon a quiet, small town at the end of the day. These everyday scenes contain endless possibilities for artistic expression. Each of these paintings represents a moment when I stopped, really looked, and discovered something special in the everyday world around me. I'd love to hear your experiences with finding beauty in ordinary scenes. Share in the comments below which artists, historical or contemporary, inspire you with their ability to elevate everyday moments. What ordinary scenes in your daily life have caught your artistic eye? And how do you plan on seeing your familiar surroundings with fresh eyes? In my next video, I take you through the process of creating the painting Small Town Vespers. I'll show you how we go from the reference photo to a finished painting. Make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Take care. I'm glad we had coffee together, and we'll talk soon. What do you think, Freyja? Should people get something to drink? Yes. Get something to drink, like a coffee or tea. Oh. And let's talk about art.